We don't need that. I'm on the pill.
Okay.
Are men 100% responsible for unplanned pregnancy? Well, Twitter feminist Gabrielle Blair, an author of the book Ejaculate Responsibly, seems to think so. Recently, I've been getting flamed in the group chat for daring to disagree with our Mormon queen. So today, I'm going to be debunking her argument and explain why I think that if you agree with Miss Blair, you should kindly eject yourself from the gene pool. I'll start by showing you these tweets so that we can all understand her arguments together. I'm a mother of 6 and a Mormon. I have a good understanding of arguments surrounding abortion, religious and otherwise. I've been listening to men grandstand about women's reproductive rights, and I'm convinced men actually have zero interest in stopping abortion. Here's why. If you want to stop abortion, you need to prevent unwanted pregnancies, and men are 100% responsible for unwanted pregnancies. No, for real, they are. Perhaps you're thinking, it takes 2, and yes, it does take 2 for intentional pregnancies. But all unwanted pregnancies are caused by the irresponsible ejaculations of men. Period. Don't believe me? Let me walk you through it. Let's start with this. Women can only get pregnant about 2 days each month, and that's for a limited number of years. That makes 24 days a year a woman might get pregnant, but men can cause pregnancy 365 days a year. In fact, if you're a man who ejaculates multiple times a day, you could cause multiple pregnancies daily. In theory, a man could cause 1,000 plus unwanted pregnancies in just 1 year. And though their sperm gets crappier as they age, men can cause unwanted pregnancies from puberty till death. So just starting with basic biology plus the calendar, it's easy to see men are the issue here. Okay, let's pump the brakes. Sure, men play a role here, but calling them 100% responsible, that's like blaming a busted tire for the whole car accident, while ignoring the fact that you were texting, speeding, and drinking a six-pack at the same time. I mean, come on, how is anyone 100% responsible for something that involves 2 people? Simple math. Also, this double standard is insane. So according to Blair, when a pregnancy is intentional, it's a team effort. Both parties are involved in that process. But if a pregnancy is unwanted, suddenly men are the only ones responsible? That's not how responsibility works. You can't just split the roles like this. You handle the good outcomes and we'll blame you for the bad ones. It's either both partners are responsible for the outcomes or this whole argument falls apart.
But Lynx, aren't guys still the main problem?
Men are part of the problem, but Blair isn't saying part or even just the majority. She's saying men are 100% responsible, and the numbers simply don't back her up. According to the Gut Matcher Institute, yes, we are pulling from the experts, about 45% of pregnancies in the US are unintended. But here's the kicker, a huge chunk of those pregnancies aren't because men are irresponsible. In fact, about 41% of unintended pregnancies happen even when contraception is being used. Yeah, you heard that right. People are using condoms, birth control, the whole shebang, and sometimes accidents just happen. Sometimes it's the woman not taking her birth control pills, or sometimes it could be my massive cock ripping through the condom. The point is, the majority of these accidents happen because of human error. But when contraception is used consistently and correctly, those numbers drop down to just a measly 5%.
Consenting to sex doesn't mean you're consenting to get pregnant.
Look, I almost had an aneurysm when I first heard this one. If you don't understand that sex can lead to pregnancy, please do everyone a favor. Stop having sex immediately. It's like saying consent to driving isn't consent to getting in a car accident. No duh. But you still wear a seatbelt and follow the rules because accidents happen. Imagine if a guy said consenting to bust inside someone isn't consent to fatherhood. He'd be roasted alive for being irresponsible, and rightly so. So why are we letting this argument slide when it's the other way around? Blair's argument also weirdly strips women of their autonomy. It's treating them like mindless puppets who have no say in their own sex lives, framing sex as something that just happens to them. In reality, 62% of all women of reproductive age are currently using a contraceptive method, so obviously women aren't just helpless bystanders. In fact, with over 15 different types of birth control to choose from, women have more choices than I do at the drive-thru at Taco Bell. In fact, of the 3.1 million unplanned pregnancies, about 52% occur in women who weren't using contraception at all. So yeah, while some people are out here talking like men are the only ones responsible, over half of these pregnancies happen because contraception wasn't even in the picture. It's like blaming someone for spilling the milk when the cap wasn't even on the bottle to begin with. This next argument is probably my favorite one. Blair claims that men can cause 1,000 plus pregnancies in a year. Look, I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to be Genghis Khan anytime soon. At this point, we aren't even talking about baby making. This is a full-on production line. Any guy attempting this must have more stamina than a bull on cocaine. Even Nick Cannon, who's made fatherhood his side hustle, he only has 12 kids with 6 women. And that's a famous millionaire, not your average Joe still watching Andrew Tate for life advice. The reality, the median number of sexual partners for men in their lifetime is 6 or 7. So this idea that guys are out here spawning armies, yeah, that's about as realistic as a unicorn on a skateboard. Let's not pretend that men aren't doing their fair share as well. 60% of men report using some form of male birth control, condoms, withdrawal, or vasectomy. Their options might not be as robust, but it's clear to see from the data that most men are doing their part to be responsible. Yeah, they aren't just out here like rogue agents trying to cause as many pregnancies as possible. Blair also claims men can cause unwanted pregnancies from puberty till death. Like seriously, not even grandpa's safe? I understand Viagra exists, but you really think old man Jenkins is gonna be out here knocking up all the women? I'm not sure if you've ever been around an old person, but these guys are usually more focused on their pension, not producing progeny. By the time a guy hits 40, sperm quality is taken, and conception is harder than finding a McDonald's ice cream machine that actually works. So while it's technically possible for a 99-year-old man to father a kid, it's about as likely as the chance of Billie Eilish responding to one of my DMs. Before we start winding down here, I just want to point out why I think it's very important to dismantle arguments like these. Many unintended pregnancies occur due to a lack of education and access to reliable contraception, not because men are irresponsible. Sexual education and access to contraceptives are crucial factors in preventing unwanted pregnancies. Many unintended pregnancies happen when people do not have access to the necessary information or tools to prevent them. This is a societal issue, not a gendered one. The only purpose arguments like these serve is to increase tension between the genders. It also distracts us from reaching actual conclusions to our societal issues. These slogans may be catchy, but they only serve to increase divides. It also leaves us disconnected from what's actually happening in society. So in the end, if we want to actually reduce unplanned pregnancy, we need to leave the blame game on the sidelines and get everyone involved in the solution. Because pointing fingers might get you some retweets, but it's not going to fix anything. Anyway, that'll be all from your boy Lynx. Did I manage to change your mind, or are you still suckling on Blair's teeth? Just remember not to cause any pregnancies, and don't get knocked up yourself. Peace.